They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send them out to the nation. LIB in the house. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think on my grave with the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP on the court. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going mad, they trying to figure out how I do assault damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high grounds to get an overstanding. Now you from a distance, see your partner, they done left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing, they gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield, been 7 minutes in the fucking game, I'm the boat. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm bold.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
That beast on the hunt, ghosts is ghosts, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done. They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
2 times in the building. Mike full of Lil D, Ethan. Lead Twitch. Decker. Bull. Alex was popping. Yo. Man, we back. Second time today. This like old.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Suave ATL in the building. He said the breakdown in the song is crazy. Let me teach you how to vibe.
Let me teach
Brandon,
you how
what
to
up?
vibe.
She, Mr. 52. Bad take in the building. Everybody watching on Facebook, like, share, comment, follow. Everybody watching on YouTube, picture in picture, like, share, comment, tap in for the daily content. Everybody that's watching on Kick, up to 50 emotes, no ads, picture in picture. You do not have to be a sub to use the emotes on Kick. So if you don't have any badges or anything, you probably should watch on Kick. As well as, I think we just hit 900 followers on Kick. And then Twitch, Amazon Prime, once a month, you can sub to the channel for free. If not me, another wonderful content creator on Twitch. So we live on a lot of platforms every day. Shop Talk, here to interact and engage with the community. He said 2 times a day for like COVID times. Yeah. All right, let's get into it, man. Tennessee Titans release Quandre Diggs, free safety, veteran free safety, on his off day in the bye week. We knew it was coming. We knew it's about that time of year for them to start turning to the youth movement and start trying to get these guys some valuable reps to see what they have going into a free agent pool where they'll have the most money and they'll have a lot of draft picks and a lot of decisions to make with this roster in the off season. All right, let me get into y'all questions. If y'all got any questions while we tapping in. He said, with 3 starters out for the Patriots, do you think they can beat the Bucks this Sunday? Any given Sunday, Mike Vrabel will have his players ready to play. I'm a Tennessee Titan, so I know that. He said, Diggs, this is the Quandre Diggs that was on the Seahawks for all those years. That's a free safety.
Let me teach you how to
Tennessee
vibe.
Titans. You know, Trayvon and Stephon Diggs are the 2 Diggs brothers you're talking about. But this is the shop. This ain't the beauty shop. We could care less about who's got kids on the way and all that. That ain't what we here to talk about. He said, 100 more for 1K. Let's work. I told you the comments in my in my community post. If y'all don't know, on Facebook, I've been a partner for years, and I make I make these football posts and the comments be if I put have a blessed day, that I looked at the person's profile picture and I just think I'm not finna do it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, people don't read the caption. They just see the picture and they just go in. It's like, bro, like read. Like sometimes they be like having a fight with themselves. They be talking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We just like to have sports conversation and debate. And people be surprised that I comment on everybody who comments on my post. Like I like to engage the people. So hey, I be commenting on everything, and sometimes people be getting a little teed up with me. It be funny. D Ford in the building. What up? He said, "Am I shocked that the Patriots are doing good?" No. I mean, listen. This is like they have a good owner who owned his mistake. Robert Kraft came out and said, "Hey, I did wrong by Gerard Mayo. I put him in an impossible situation. They had a year to start their rebuild. They drafted 2 QBs. They didn't do like the Browns did. They traded Joe Milton to the Cowboys, got draft capital back. They decided Drake May is their guy. I like Drake May's skill set from last year when we beat them in overtime. But I said they needed to improve things around him, and that's what they did. They had a good draft. They had a good offseason of picking up players, and I knew that the Dolphins would not be good this season, and the Jets was a wild card, and the Jets wind up falling
Let me teach
flat
you
on their
how to
face,
vibe.
somewhat like their owner. And the Bills is the Bills. They're the cream of that division, but I'm not surprised that Mike Vrabel has a team. 5 cents is not common, D4. Rabbit in the building. Jonathan Watkins, what up? He said, I'm shocked. Happened sooner than later. Always. Becker in the building.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
His kick is lagging. I believe it. Kick always be lagging sometimes. Like I think when they going through updates, it just lag. But it's like the kicking Becker kick and Twitch are on the same. Kick and Twitch are on the same like server thing. So if one of them is acting up, the other one is too.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
You can't do that to Belichick though. You can't do that to Belichick. I mean, he's old. I mean, Pete Carroll is coaching bad on the Raiders, but that don't take away what he did at USC and what he did on the Seahawks. He could just be a 70-year-old man that got a 20-year-old girlfriend and his mind is not focused on football. He's just getting a check at this point. Rabbit was popping. I said YouTube is lagging. Could just be the service because I'm on fiber, so like it just be like that at times. It stopped for a second. Now that could be a security thing running through. If it stopped on Facebook too, it could be a security thing. I haven't looked at nothing to do with Kanye in some time, so and no, I did. We good? Because I got to get into what I want to get into. Because y'all want to talk about Stephon Diggs, baby, and Kanye. We can get into that later. But right now, I'm trying to tap in on Tennessee Titans releasing Quandre Diggs. And what's funny is like I showed y'all that on the breakdown of the roster all week. That how I thought it would go. I thought Quandre Diggs would be out. Xavier Woods still got another year. Kendall Brooks, Mike Brown is on IR, and then they just picked up Jared Reed. A lot of people are saying like, you know, just because they signed Jared Reed, that has nothing to do with them releasing Quandre Diggs. It's more to do with Kevin Winston. Like, well, duh, we already knew that Kevin Winston and Amani Hooker were going to be the 2 starters, but it still would have something to do with signing another safety in the same position that does the same thing in the bye week to play safety. Like that doesn't mean they got rid of Quandre Diggs because of Jared Reed. No, it's the whole movement. Anybody that's not a young person that they see going forward with their vision right now, it's up for them. I mean, when the trade deadline comes up and the team says everybody but Big Jeff and Cam is expendable, I mean, that's what they mean. That like it's time to see what the young guys got. I just wonder, will they do that with Lloyd Cushenberry? Will they try to move Dan Moore's contract early? I think it's a foregone conclusion that Chig is probably gone now. and there wasn't much offers for him at the trade deadline. And I do think now, seeing the direction they're going, that like probably Red and Snead will be exercised, as well as Pollard. At some point, Van Jefferson, when Bryce Oliver comes back. I just think it's gonna be a time with Truman Jones, Ali Gay, Femi still being on IR, Jalen Harrell. I think he will not be a Titan next year. It's time to see what the young guys got. It's time to see what the young guys got. William D. Corey, what up? Oh, the Jets ripped a Band-Aid off. Big Jeff, what'd he do? The youth movement has begun, and I'm happy that it has begun. Because it's time to see. I mean, the young guys has been only bright spots on the team this year, so it's like, why not go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and actually see what you got in some of these young players? I want to see Michael Robinson play. I'm glad we got to see Marcus Harris play since they traded McCreary and Jarvis Brownlee. Like, I'm happy to see Marcus Harris play. I really want to see Kalel Mullins. I think the Tennessee Titans, one of the biggest things that they're missing, people talk about O-line, but the lack of running game and being able to physically pick up a 3rd and 1, a 3rd and 2, a 4th and 1, a 4th and inches, amongst not running quarterback sneak in obvious situations, is kind of been tough to watch, because Spears is more elusive than Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard runs hard, but he's not like a physical back that's gonna push the pile and pick up those tough yards at times. Why not give Restrepo a chance? I mean, shit, I'm gonna be real. As much as we want to see Strepo, we seen the Titans release Lockett and see Lockett go to the Raiders, and people like, oh, Lockett had 5 catches. Yeah, what's his rack? Out of just saying what could it hurt to see Restrepo, but the Tennessee Titans have to field a roster coming in the next year with 53 players whose floor is special teams, but their ceiling is they could be a starter in the NFL. They got to get out of this. Their ceiling is special teams and wide receiver 8, but their floor is out of the league. Podcasting with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to start doing that and stop. Like, Xavier Restrepo doesn't win games if he plays instead of Mason Kinsey or James Prochet. I'm finally coming to grips with that. I would love to see Kalel Mullins.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Bell cow running back from Michigan. That's the type of player we need. He said, do you think the Falcons can win? No. Have you been to Magic City in Atlanta before? Walmart? Have you ever been to Magic City? Big Jeff, what'd he do? Dolphins tanking. Think Waddle goes back to the Chiefs. Waddle was never on the Chiefs. I think Tariq is done.
Let me teach you
but
how
I mean,
to
I don't know how
vibe.
his contract is set up. That if he has to try and rehab to keep his guaranteed money, I don't know how the end of that works. But the
Let me
Dolphins
teach
are
you
screwed.
how to
They're
vibe.
minus $25 million in the cap, and Tua and Tariq Hill are 2 players that they can't move because they're injured. That's a lot to eat in 1 year. They've been having a fire sale for 2 years. They just haven't admitted it. I like the fact that the Jets just ripped the Band-Aid off. Rich black man, KT2 to GOAT. Big Jeff, what up? Titans gonna have a top 5 draft pick. Who you think they grab first? I think they trade back and stay in the top 10 and try to pick up another pick. I think Arvell Reese is what Arvell Reese, Ruben Bain, Keldrick Falk. I think if one of those guys are on the board, if the Titans can trade back and stay in the top 10, I think it's a done deal. I think it's a done deal. Zay, what's good? I'm not saying don't give X a chance. I'm saying they're at the point that they have to, but what would it change? Do you think Xavier Restrepo playing wins the Titans any games? Because, like, he's playing the same position as Chim DK. So, like, the only time he's going to be on the field is if Chim DK is not on the field. And if Chim DK on the field, I want them to be in twin tight ends. He said Titans are falling off because Vrabel left. That's like 20% of it. 50% of it would be John Robinson. 20% would be Vrabel leaving. The other 30% would be who they replace John Robinson and Mike Vrabel with. It's a lot more complicated than just Vrabel walking out. Something happened before Mike Vrabel left, like his offensive coordinator got a DUI after the Green Bay Packers game. Like certain things like that happen, and then and missing completely on 2 consecutive drafts got John Robinson fired along with the AJ Brown trade. So it's more than just Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is like the smallest piece of what's wrong with the Tennessee Titans. He said on Bob Marley, I love Bob Marley. That's a lie, Alec. If you're the New England Patriots and you say, send me Arden Key and Tony Pollard for a 7th round pick in 2027, and they say no, and then you make up a rumor, like that's not true. Tennessee Titans would have traded anybody would gave any kind of, like, how could the Titans trade with another rival like the Baltimore Ravens and trade Draymond Jones but not want to trade with the Patriots? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, the Tennessee Titans don't like the Texans. They don't like the Ravens. They like they're making trades with those teams but not making trades with Patriots. That doesn't make sense. Sometimes you gotta use your own logic. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use your own common sense. Titans will be number 1 or they won't. The Jets and the Saints are fighting very hard to get the number 1 pick. And the Titans and the Saints play each other at the end of the season, so there's gonna be a tank off, the tank bowl. He said pass rusher. I don't think so. I mean, let's say you take Arvell Reese in the first round after trading back and staying in the top 10, and in the off season, like, there's Odafio Way, there's Kayvon Thibodeau or somebody like that, or Jalen Phillips. Let's say you get one of those 3 guys and you draft Arvell Reese or Keldrick Falk. Like, do you still think pass rusher? Nah, because you hope that Femi mixed with, because Truman Jones is still under contract, Ali Gay is still under contract, Jalen Harrell is still under contract. So, like, how many? You ain't gonna have 7 pass rushers. You're gonna be we can't be the Giants. I think during the combine we trade back. I think we trade back on draft night. Do I like the waiver pickup in Jared Reese? I like the fact that, like, they're getting young, faster people. But obviously Bergonzi looked at some of these guys in the offseason and looked at some of these guys in the draft. And now is the time to take a shot on some guys that you might have been trying to get in the first place. And now you got your opportunity to get them in camp and see how they work. The Titans are trying to build culture. So, like, it's over for Quandre Diggs in Nashville. It's over for Tyler Lockett. These are older guys that were there to help build the culture more than produce on the field. Kevin Winston Jr. and Amani Hooker were going to be the 2 safeties. Xavier Woods still has another year. You have Kendall Brooks, and then now you have Jared Reed. So you have safety is one of the only positions that we have depth in. So getting younger and faster in those positions is smart, because the Seahawks really didn't want to give up Jared Reed. He said, guess they got to come over to Facebook like the old days. Titans already fell off when Vrabel was still there. You mean falling off like the Titans were number 1 in their division? They fired their GM. They offensive coordinator got a DUI, and their starting quarterback got a high ankle sprain. And they went on a losing streak. They lost a game to the Jaguars in the last game of the season that would have won the division. Then they started the next season off moving slow in the front office, and the owner and the coach was not getting along. They were not on the same page. Yes. But you have to understand, like, Tennessee Titans were competitive. They were, like, in the time you say they fallen off, like, they still were playing for the division. It's the team that was still making playoff games. So by your standards, the Steelers have had a winning record for 20 years. They haven't won a playoff game in a decade. Is that falling off, or it's just like Either you're in a position to make a run to a conference championship and a Super Bowl, or you're not. I think fans got to start getting this through their brain that like a team being going 5-12 is no different than a team being 2-15. It's the same thing. It literally is. I know people don't want to see that, but that's the honest to God truth. Like, either you're competing to try to win a conference championship and go to a Super Bowl, or you're just another team. And for the most part, half the league is always in that position of they're not a contender. Even when a team is having a good season, like the Broncos and the Colts, they lose one game or they have a struggle game like they had last night, and we all say, but do we believe them? They 7-2, but do we believe them? I believe the Colts more than the Broncos after watching Bo Nix last night and how the Broncos could not score points, even with blocked punts and things like that, and just complete meltdowns by the Raiders. So you have to ask yourself, like, who do you trust? And like, there's only a few teams that consistently do that. So Tennessee Titans going to have $140 million in cap space. They're going to have a first round pick that they're going to trade out of. They're going to have a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh, and a seventh. And they still got moves that they can make. They're still going to be trading Will Levis. Still might trade Tony Pollard. Still some pieces that's going to move. They just have to get the coaching hire right and draft, develop, and bring in the right people in offseason and free agency. The Titans can compete next year. Not contend, compete. You just talking about the Patriots. The Patriots were worse than the Titans last year. Now they're at the top of their division this year. And now the same people are going to tell me that it can't happen for the Titans or the Jets or the Panthers or the Browns or all these other teams. Like, it can happen. You just need the right coaches and people in the front office making the right decisions with personnel. The Giants could be pushing for the division next year, and they're 2-6 right now. It's that simple. Titans fans are not upset. See, this is what y'all gotta understand. Like, people that are not Titan fans have to understand. Titan fans, we applaud for AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. Most of us cheer for Mike Vrabel and ex-Titans like Harold Landry and people like that. We not weird and haters like the rest of y'all. A&M in Missouri tomorrow at 2:30. Y'all better stop Ahmad Hardy in that tight end. I think y'all will win though. I mean, look who's reporting that though, Alec. You just keep talking about this. Amy says Trump didn't want to trade. Like, bro, like Mike Bergonzi would have traded you if he had the chance. Hey, bro, y'all got to stop listening to this ignorance. Like, y'all got to be like, I need to give y'all a fine tooth comb. I don't think they go receiver round one, Corey. And it's gonna be the type of receiver that they need to get is like a Jeremy Bernard guy like that. That's going to be a second round pick. AJ Brown was a second round pick. Lad McConkey was a second round pick. Titans need a guy like that. I have a difference of opinion. I don't think the Titans should be just looking for this number one. I think they just need to build the room. Hear me out. Put Jeremy Bernard in that room. I don't think they spend a lot of money. Let's say a Tyquan Thornton. You know, I said Jalen Hyatt because you could have gave a late round pick and got him. So next year, put Jeremy Bernard, A.O. Monner, DK, Bryce Oliver, and put let's say a Tyquan Thornton or somebody like that in the room. If it's a solid room with good tight ends, I would rather spend my $10 million on Isaiah Likely and go that route and have Gunnar Helm and Isaiah Likely or Gunnar Helm and Kyle Pitts than go all in on a number one receiver. And it'd be Chris Olave on the Saints. And it'd be Garrett Wilson on the Jets. You got a number one, but now like you're gonna spend the next few years like trying to like build everything else around what they got. I just want them to be a solid 53. I want you to say, I look in the running back room and it's a solid room. Look at the Chargers. Najee Harris, Amarion Hampton get hurt. They still got Vidal and Patterson. Like those four running backs is a good running back room. Like, I need a good room. I don't need like one good player that's gonna save you that room. I don't need one good receiver that's gonna save the room. I need to look and see 6 solid receivers. I need to look in the tight end room and see solid tight ends. I don't need Travis Kelce. I need 3 good tight ends and a +1. I don't want to see this one cornerback that's gonna save the room. I want to look in the room and say, like, the whole room can be interchangeable. Like, here's 4 or 5 good corners. Like, the safety room is like that. You got Kevin Winston Jr., you got Xavier Woods, you got Jared Reed, you got Amani Hooker, you got Kendall Brooks. You just let Quandre Diggs go. Like, that's a good room. Like, that's what the Titans need to focus on, is like having good rooms. Like Cedric Gray, Cody Parton is up and down because he's a coverage linebacker. You don't know what James Williams in. You got Darian Mousey for 2 years. Now, let's say they second, third round. Let's say second round, if they traded back and they got Anthony Hill. Got a real room. You got Anthony Hill. You got Cody Barton. You got Cedric Gray. You got James Williams. You got Darian Mousey. You got Kazir White on the practice squad. Like, build the room. Don't just think about like one player. Because look at the Jaguars. They got Travis Hunter, got him playing both ways, got him hurt. Now Brian Thomas Jr. got a high ankle sprain. You just went from Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas, Jacoby Myers to now just Jacoby Myers. Like, Jaguars is cooked. Similar to Jacksonville, Cleveland, exactly, Becker. Perfect analogy. The Saints better not get the #1 pick. If they do, Mickey Loomis gonna mess it up. It wasn't that long ago, Dre Day. Yeah, the Vrabel era ended bad. I think it's because more of the front office than just Vrabel. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, a lot of people probably haven't thought about this. When Tannehill came back, he was like 35, 36 years old, coming off a high ankle sprain. That same year, Patrick Mahomes went to a Super Bowl on a high ankle sprain. But when people are like 10 years difference in between their ages, you see Ryan Tannehill was like a baby deer coming back. I said the same thing about Kirk Cousins, and people argue me up and down. I said, when you 36, 37 years old coming off one of them surgeries, it's real rare that a person gonna come back. Tannehill didn't trust his body. We lost to the Saints by 1. They had like 5 turnovers that game to open the season. Then you seen every game we played to start that season before Levis came in, before the bye week. Because Levis threw 4 touchdowns versus the Falcons because they had Taylor Hanke and Desmond Ridder. You know, it's like, just think to come in and just never be healthy. And he played the last game of the season and they beat the Jaguars and knocked them out the playoffs. But it's just to say that, like, I don't think they were prepared for that. And I think Mike Vrabel probably was pushing to have Tannehill play and let Will Levis sit a little bit longer. Now, for obvious reasons, everybody now sees why he wanted Will Levis to sit and learn longer. He wasn't ready. We threw him in, he threw 4 touchdowns to get the Falcons, and then it was just all downhill from there because some of the things that he needed to work on, he couldn't. Then you trade Malik Willis off and Malik Willis come back and spank us. It just shows that, like, they were going in 3 different directions. The fact that you had a $35 million quarterback come, a second round pick quarterback in Will Levis that was the first pick in the second round that you traded the 3rd round to get. And then you had Malik Willis, who's part of the A.J. Brown, Traylon Burks trade, because we're not even going to talk about Traylon Burks. so it's like all of that was going on. You got Traylon Burks that can't play. You got an offensive coordinator that got a DUI. You got a general man going on. You got a head coach that feel like he's losing control of his own program, watching A.J. Brown go to the Eagles and go to the Super Bowl. Then they trade off the remnants of the bad trade in Malik Willis, and he comes back and whoops Callahan the next year. I just think, like, it's more to it than just